Hello everyone and welcome back! New day, new video. So maybe like a month ago I posted on my community tab asking you guys to give your honest and unfiltered opinion on Splatoon 3. I'll be reading and commenting on some of the best responses. Enjoy! User Project said, as a newcomer who only played one round of the original game's Turf War, 3 is a really fun experience. The campaign was fun, interesting, and challenging with the story and level design, though I personally disagree with the notion that Big Man is the hardest of the 3 idols to face. That goes to Fry, since even with all of the perks unlocked, she was still a challenge. While I enjoy Salmon Run, I do think that it needs some more basic in-game communication options rather than Booyah, This Way, and Help. Also maybe being a bit softer on the pay cuts for certain games, like having some be more personal than just a group cut. The weapons are fun and provide interesting gameplay options. I also enjoy the lobby/hub world that gives you the opportunity to find someone. The way the Island Survival Splatfest was totaled was interesting, but I would be lying if I said that the population vote didn't carry Team Gear, which hopefully is rebalanced for the Pokemon Starter Splatfest. One thing I do wish is that there were minigame side jobs besides Salmon Run. However, the whale in the room needs to be addressed. The communication errors that crop up are annoying. I haven't gotten to the point of anger, but I don't doubt that some people have. I do hope that this franchise continues on like so many other Nintendo games, and I am glad to have started to experience and explore the positive side of the fanbase, and hopefully I can learn to play this as a casual competitive player. You raise an interesting point that not many people mention. In-game communication is very lackluster, especially during matches. They have 2 buttons that are completely unused that could have other messages aside Booyah and This Way. And of course everyone has to agree that the communication errors in the game are way too frequent, and the outcome of having more than one disconnect is also ridiculous. I really don't know who thought shutting down the whole match when it happens was a good idea, since the other method worked perfectly fine, leaving the disadvantaged team without any penalty. Channel member Draco said, I'm 50-50 about it. They have made some good improvements. The way you can skip the news and have it in the top left is great, and Salmon Run improvements are great, and the lobby I really like the way you can actually move around when you're waiting for a game. Also being able to queue with your friends in Turf War is great as well. I also like the seasonal catalog where you get level rewards. I think that is really cool, but there are some flaws. For example, when 2 players disconnect during ranked, it stops the game. I like that feature, don't get me wrong, but it's so annoying when you're winning and that happens. I also don't like how they haven't added 4v4 offline Turf War with CPU. That would have been a great feature. Also, no new ranked mode as of yet, kinda disappointed. I agree with you. I also adore the fact that we can just mess around in the training area while we're waiting for a match. It's a big improvement compared to nothing to do in Splatoon 2's lobbies. The seasonal catalog is an unexpected yet fun little feature that we can enjoy, giving us more customization options. And yes, I also do not understand why you still cannot play with CPUs in normal matches. They coded Inner Agent 3 in Splatoon 2, surely it can't be that hard to replicate it for CPU matches. I too am also waiting for a new ranked mode. User Akino said, the devs this time really went all in with what people wanted. They gave us a story mode that functions like Octo expansion, they gave us skippable news, they gave us something to do in the lobby while waiting, they gave us a new Splatfest mechanic, and also balanced a lot of weapons. The problems that I think hurt the game a bit are, why we can't change gear/weapons in Anarchy Battle. That's so stupid, like come on. Tensor missiles need to be reworked, if not they'll just be a pain in the game's long run. Why does point sensor exist? At least Nintendo needs to buff this sub. Stage designs are so oversimplified. I want old Mahi Mahi/Hammerhead back. But for these things there's time, and because of this I'm really happy of how the game looks for now. They've done so many things right, and the things they've done poorly are fixable. I think the effort they put into the new story mode really paid off. They definitely decided to make the story more intriguing and not predictable like in Splatoon 2. I mean, at least I didn't see the plot twists coming. Don't know if it's just me that might be a little dumb. I think incorporating Deep Cut and Mr. Grizz's villains in the plot added some more spice to the previous Squid Sisters predictable plot V2. Skippable news of course is such a relief, because if I would count how many minutes of unimportant news I had to watch while playing Splatoon 1 and 2, I don't know, it would just be really a huge fuck ton of time. And yes, I did wish Nintendo would allow us to swap loadouts while we're waiting for matches. I really don't understand why we can't do it. The Splatoon 3 point sensor does suck, and stage designs are oversimplified. Nintendo, are you even trying? At least add back some old maps while you scratch your heads thinking about new ones. User FlowFinet Plus said, I like it. I love the color of the ink, it feels very pastel-like. The texture though looks a bit like plastic or simplistic, I'm not a huge fan of that. Special design is better than 2, but some things feel underwhelming. Zipcaster's shield while zipping through air is too weak. Reef Slider is way too vulnerable both at the start and end, and then bringing back missiles is horrid. Weapon design is good, kits are mainly good but some can be changed. Undercover is way too underwhelming, Reflux is too spammy, and Toxic Mist is still kinda weak. Some weapons currently have good kits but could have better ones, such as E-Leader with Burst Bomb over Ink Mine, and Stringer with Torpedo or Burst Bomb over Toxic Mist. Aside from a few other minor issues, lag for one, the game is good. I've been having a lot of fun with it lately. By the way, Salmon Run weapons are complete ass and so is Spawning Grounds. Table Turf is fun and addicting, hard not to play it like Tetris though. The plaza is nice, and people are still just as creative with their posts as ever. Actually, I like the Splatoon 3 ink. The Splatoon 1 ink felt too solid, Splatoon 2's too liquid, and this one is somewhere in between. Just perfect. Missiles being brought back was a nightmare everyone thought wouldn't come true, and then it did. Thank God they just nerfed them with the new update. I do understand how some people are complaining about the kits, but I'm sure this will become less of a problem in the future as they add more weapon variations with each patch. I'm still waiting for a good Tenebrella. Regarding the plaza posts, yeah, I won't even touch on that. Moving on. User Aaron is P1 said, "A great game with a couple of problems. Not so great map design with a few exceptions, tender missiles, no way to play Table Turf online, no squid beats, lots of connection issues at times. Open quotes, one or more players disconnected shortly after the battle began. Disconnected players will be assigned a loss, but the battle will not count for players who remained connected, close quotes. Didn't stop it from becoming one of my most played games though. The absence of squid beats was upsetting. Such a small feature that so many players liked, and they removed it for what? And yes, online Table Turf should absolutely be a thing, and I don't understand why it isn't yet." User N said, "I think they didn't lean hard enough into chaos winning. There's allegedly a wasteland, but we only ever see it at the very start. I can only hope that the DLC touches on it more. Perhaps Deep Cut should have been full-on self-serving bandits in their free time. There was much potential for the Final Fest to affect this game, and it just sort of didn't. To me, it just seems like Nintendo completely forgot about the Final Fest, which wasn't really the Final Fest. Remember, they added a couple of Splatfests near the end. It's possible that they do use this chaos plot type in the DLC, but this will take a considerable amount of time for a scenario that was supposedly to be included in the primary story mode and not the DLC." User Fight Potato said, "I want more music tracks for Splatoon 3, and I want the arcade machine returned to Splatoon 3. Please Nintendo, don't let your fans down. Heart emoji, kiss emoji." One huge complaint I have about the music tracks is in fact the lack of them. Why do we only have 2 Splatfest tracks when Splatoon 2 had 3? If anything, the game should have at least 4 or 5, because I'm already getting bored of the only 2, and it's only been the 3rd Splatfest. The bad thing is, they're probably not gonna put out any more new idle music until the DLC. And finally, user Pinkety said, "It's okay, but it ain't exciting enough for me to turn it into a phase." Quick and to the point, fair enough. Well, that's all for now. I personally really enjoyed reading everyone's opinions, and you all raise valid points. If you, the viewer, have anything to add, please let us know in the comments. One thing I wanted to talk about that I haven't seen someone else bring up is how limited the private battles are. You still can't have more than 10 players in the lobby, you still can't kick people, you still can't set up a room without having to friend people, and you now get kicked out if you're adding friends through the Switch menu. These problems are especially frustrating for streamers like me that have to add and remove friends very often when they're live. And I only have like 3,000 subs, subscribe by the way. It's even more annoying for popular content creators. It's worse than what it was in Splatoon 2, and I hope Nintendo really gets to fixing this. Hope you guys had fun watching. Like and subscribe if you want to watch more of my content. See you guys next time!